The technology is always going to be, you know, mind-blowing, of course. Wow. I mean,
what
come
you
on.
want? You want...
Man.
They both bad, but I'm going to take the better bad.
That look like a better bed, but at the same time, I'll probably go a little more crazy with all this white wall and like I'm not crazy, but I might go crazy.
Yeah.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we are back with another American reaction.
Facts.
Super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 100K. And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
It's more expensive to live in Hong Kong than anywhere in the world.
I wouldn't want to live in Hong Kong then.
Hong Kong has been ranked the least affordable housing market in the world 8 years in a row.
Bro, is these homes?
That's what it looks like.
These homes?
They tall buildings, too.
By a long shot. Housing prices are now almost 20 times more than annual income. That means that a household making $50,000 US would, on average, be looking for a house that costs $980,000. And it's getting really bad. Hundreds of thousands of residents now squeeze into incredibly small apartments, most of them no bigger than a parking space. So these are cage homes, which basically fit one person and their belongings, and they basically stack these in a room in order to fit as many people as they can in the room. And yet the price per square foot for these smaller houses just keeps shooting up. I visited these homes to try to piece together an explanation for this trend, and to meet the people who are being squeezed by the world's least affordable real estate market.
Okay.
They remind me of... This is what I used to do back in the day, y'all. But this reminds me of like chicken coops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's smaller than our dorm room.
Way smaller than that.
That's smaller than a studio apartment.
Man, that's the hole.
That's a closet.
That's a that's a one bedroom closet.
Tens of thousands of people in this city who live in spaces that are between 75 and 140 square feet. For some perspective, a typical parking space in the US is 120 square feet.
所以好困難，始終呢度係黑暗嘅，即係一入嚟到見唔到光㗎嘛。
One of the most common strategies for small space living is this subdivided house model. This big space that's been divided up into a bunch of tiny little living spaces. These people basically have room for a bed and a table and a few belongings.
有啲就條理，有啲就求求其其咁樣。嗰啲唱 K 啊嗰啲啦，同埋啲水啊嗰啲藥品啊，好簡單嘅啫。
What makes this model work is that they have a bigger communal space where they're able to have their cooking and their washing in the bathroom open to everyone so that they can save space and save money in their actual living quarters. So this is the kitchen for this space, which is shared by 4 families.
因為每個人生活習慣唔一樣咯，成日都因為好少嘅事都會有摩擦咯，唔 OK 咯，即係好多嘈交咯。
Yeah, y'all need your own space, not want. Y'all need your own space. That's not reality. Well,
that lady had a kid. What about the families?
Like the big families. This is terrible. Like,
I couldn't even imagine something going on like this. Like, you know, we got a lot of messed up stuff in the United States, but what?
Nah, this is too tiny. I can't, like, some people probably done complain about some of the most craziest things that happen in their life, but this right here, these people have no choice.
You can't complain
You
after
can't complain
seeing something like this.
Facts. Yeah, you can't.
Oh my God. I can't, you know, when we start looking to buy a home, I can't walk into a house saying, oh, there's not enough space and complain about it. Like, it's things like this that makes you remember to be grateful.
But this situation is not their fault.
Man.
I think that's how it is out there with the population and like that city or that area that they're in. It's like that's all they probably have left to live in.
And see, things like that, I would move. And I know everybody don't have the means to move, but man, look, we're going to come up with a plan or
Yeah,
something.
we're going to definitely come up with a plan and see where the rich folk at. I try to get a little close to that where they got more houses. But
right.
I think for them it's like, I think it's just like no choice. Like, there is no moving.
Man, it's crazy. This crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they have a choice. Look at that.
The tempting
It's on
explanation
an
here
island, look like.
for why the prices are so high is land scarcity. 7.5 million people crammed into this series of islands. It's going to drive up the prices. It's the same story in a lot of places that have run out of land that are in high demand. Think San Francisco or New York City.
Okay, this might be the story in New York City and San Francisco, but is Hong Kong actually running out of land? Let's see what the drone says about this.
Ship it out.
Flying over Hong Kong, you start to see that while yes, there's a very dense urban landscape, there's also a whole lot of green space. Government land use data says that 75% of the land in Hong Kong is not developed. Now, some of that is mountainous.
Bro, that's a lot of
not
space.
easy to build on, but certainly not all of it.
That's California how they did it. Boy, living on the hills, like,
right.
For real.
When we went to California, we had culture shocks. And again, that's why we always say that the United States is so big. Each state is totally different. It's like 50 little countries, you know? So when we went to California, we drove to California. So we was able to see everything.
Facts, like.
And when we drove on the highway, we see these mountains and we see these houses, and it's basically homes like embedded into the mountains.
Right, like in there, and then you got another house on top and their backyard, and you got another one right here, and it's like.
Yeah, it's like really. It's
that was
totally
different
from what we're used to, you know, in Louisiana and Texas. Texas. They don't have it like that.
Nah, it's I don't care where you at in Texas.
Yeah.
You can go outside and see next city.
Yeah, like we have hills, but not homes like built into the hills or mountains, whatever. Well, not the mountains, hills. So it's like that was a culture shock for us. I forgot my next statement, but I'm gonna catch it.
Get right into this video.
So I posed this question about density to two experts. One is a Hong Kong citizen and the other is a 30-plus year resident. Both are advocates for better urban design. Are high prices primarily the result of land scarcity?
No.
No.
It's not. Okay.
So there's a land use issue. We could also land as being inefficiently used or conserved.
The problem isn't the shortage of land. The problem is bad land management.
Land use, land management. What these experts are referring to is that of all the land in Hong Kong, only 3.7% is zoned for urban housing. But it's not because of mountains, it's because of policy. And this gets to the heart of the explanation of why more and more people are living in homes the size of parking spaces. The first thing to note, if you want to understand the real explanation, is that the government owns all of the land in Hong Kong.
All of it.
All except for this one church that the British built here when they ruled it back in the 1800s. And it kind of just escaped the whole government owns all the land thing. So the government owns all the land, and it leases it out to developers, usually for 50 years, in an auction process, where the highest bidder gets the contract. With such scarce and valuable land zoned for housing, real estate companies, more and more of them coming from mainland China with lots of money, will duke it out in these auctions, and will end up at an astronomically high price. Like this plot of land that was just leased out for $2.2 billion. Which set an all-time record for the most expensive land ever leased by the Hong Kong government to a developer. So the way that government zones and leases land is the first part of this. The other part of this explanation has a lot to do with taxes. If you're the type of person who navigates away from this video when you hear the word tax policy, stay with me here. This place loves low taxes. It's a great place to do business because the corporate tax is low, no value-added tax, no sales tax, free market economics.
I'm sorry, I gotta make this small mention. We watched a few of his videos before, and this is the fastest I've ever seen this guy walk.
Yeah.
It's like he's keeping up with the pace of the people.
Taxes, that's embedded into the fabric of this place. Look at all those low taxes doing their work, building up those skyscrapers, slapping on those bank logos all over town. So if the government isn't getting revenue from taxes, it really needs it from another source. And in the case of Hong Kong, that source is land sales.
So a lot of the government revenues here are driven by land revenues, and it's about 30% of government public financing income.
The government of Hong Kong can lease out this land to developers at astronomical prices, make a ton of revenue from that, and not have to raise taxes on the people or the corporations that reside here. And they still proudly retain their ranking as the freest economy on earth. What this means is that the Hong Kong government
I feel like just because you build buildings higher doesn't mean that you're giving them a better living space.
Right. So all of that at the cost of people's livelihood, I could not. What about the people who can't be in tight places? Like, and how much they paying to live there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh my God, man, that I feel sad for them. They have
So,
no choice.
I feel like the problem is whenever they do these bids and they sell the land to these people, nobody's really having high interest on. Well, I'm not saying high interest. Their interest is not to expand.
Right.
It's to go up.
Right, go
because
up.
if they expand, they will try to fix the high density locations.
Right. And when he keeps saying the government owns the land, like even here, you know, of course we pay taxes,
Right.
And maybe I'm just not understanding, but does that mean nobody could build their own home? If they're leasing all of the land to these agencies and, you know,
2.2 million, was it million or billion dollars?
For a small piece of plot in comparison to that number.
Man, if you're in the real estate, you can go auction land for like $600.
Yeah.
That's
Seriously.
crazy. That's crazy. And I think
homes.
But you see, I think what's going on is because of the population numbers. That's why it's probably so more.
Rate.
Because let's say once he buy it and then he want to build a skyscraper of apartments, he got maybe another 0.1 of the population that's gonna live in there.
Yeah.
And that's more money.
This house, look, we just wouldn't be living in Hong Kong.
No, we'll figure
a
something
huge
out.
incentive to free up more land and lower prices. But while this current arrangement of bidding and auctions is really good for revenue for the government and good for the market generally, it's not super good for the people of Hong Kong.
Exactly.
At all.
Who matters
Right.
the most?
因為我仔係過渡嘅 A 仔嚟㗎嘛，所以空間對於佢嚟講少咗少少，空氣唔流通嘅，對我身體都唔好㗎。
Oh my God.
Of all the small spaces, this is easily the most cramped. These are coffin homes.
Could I ask you just a quick question about your living space?
一個人啫喎，多個人都唔得。呢度一個月咧，呢個位就係2100蚊。住咗三餐大約年幾兩年啦，喺香港呢
$200.
Yo,
$200.
The coffin homes are $200. These are not the cage homes. We're away from the cage homes. These are coffin homes where you can only fit one person.
Well, how much is the cage home?
Probably another $200 on top of that.
The lady The lady live in a coffin home?
She lives in a cage home with her son.
Imagine a toddler.
You can't, bro. I wouldn't even want to think about it. I wouldn't even want to think about it.
Man.
The government is slowly working on this problem.
Oh, okay,
year after
working
year,
on
new
it.
policies come in that are meant to fix this, but they're slow to change, mainly because they have an incentive to keep the status quo as it is. Out here at this industrial complex in Hong Kong, I met with a guy named Eric Wong, a local inventor and businessman who has seen a business opportunity in the midst of this space crisis. Eric grew up in Hong Kong and has been thinking about small space living for a long time.
其實喺我幾歲嘅時候，第一個 capsule 點樣嚟呢？我係屋企買咗一個雪櫃，一個新雪櫃又有個紙皮箱，咁我就戒咗啲窗門玩。
Oh, it has Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Hey, at least it's
His
more
capsules
comfortable.
come in
No,
1 or 2
bro, you're not
person
understanding
sizes,
what's going
and are
on
meant
here. He's capitalizing off the idea that they're living in cage homes, and then he's materializing it with spaceship-looking things. I mean, again, the technology is always going to be, mind-blowing, of course. Wow. I mean,
what
come
you
on.
want? You want?
Man,
They both bad, but I'm gonna take the better bad.
that look like a better bed, but at the same time, I'll probably go a little more crazy with all this white wall and like I'm not crazy, but I might go crazy.
Yeah. Put a little paint on
I'll be
somewhere.
sitting right. I need some more colors.
Lord.
provide a more efficient and hygienic version of the cage and coffin.
Oh, that's small.
All at a relatively low price.
呢啲款式咁喺國內啦，我哋買到係唔使新錢。
extra $150.
I'ma stay where I'm at.
你可以 share 埋張床，都會貴過我。
Nah, I feel like somebody gonna push it over me. No windows.
And here there's a
I
little
don't like
box
that.
where you can put all your valuables.
Okay, so there's mirror lights, there's reading lights.
But these
I can
capsules,
imagine.
as
Man,
innovative
pause,
as
man.
they
Hold on. So
are,
what's up, C? What we doing?
Child,
Would
we moving
you-
out the city.
Or would you not? You have no choice. You got no out of city money. You got some IKEA stay type of spaceship bed. What
Child,
you
we
do?
going to the spaceship. No. Did he just say something else? $300?
$382.
That
But you
looks
know,
smaller.
but for some people, this is like fantastic. That's the word I'm gonna use. It's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like never before living.
We-
Still
Is it
same
like
space
this
though.
all over?
Where would you even situate? This is the home, or this is like
Child, I
office
don't know
they
where
be
we
in.
at now. I don't even know.
like where would you put these type of things?
I don't know. He said he carved out a refrigerator and put windows on it.
Oh, they used him at a young age. He already knew what he wanted to do his life. And everybody else.
really just put a band-aid on this housing problem. They don't serve as a real solution. A real solution would need to come from something that's much less profitable and fun to look at.
No, I'm not
Government
calling it
policy and zoning reform
You can't even
that
stand
will
up.
free up more land
Exactly.
and put the interests of the people above the interests of the market. But until the government can make that happen, people in Hong Kong will continue to squeeze into smaller and smaller spaces.
I thought New York had small houses.
I mean, it won't hurt to make it just a tad bigger. Like,
Yeah.
next building gonna be a tad bigger. We add a couple cents to it. Make the rent a little higher, but make it a little more spacious. Like,
Man, look, it won't hurt to build better homes.
unless they take those spaceship beds and on their next project, they just add those type of rooms in there. Then you have them rooms in there with the IKEA looking beds and stuff and the Wi-Fi. But who got time to be paying that Wi-Fi bill?
You, because it went up $100.
You said me?
I'm saying it went up $100.
You the one said we were gonna move in there. I wasn't moving nowhere.
I said it's the better bed. It got Wi-Fi.
Girl, the better bed. You got
Child, look.
more bad problems than on top of that. Nah, they just need to come up with a bigger plan.
A better plan.
A bigger and better plan. Ain't no way you can just finesse these folks like that.
Yeah,
these
you
folks
better
being
get rid of them trees on the mountains.
figure something out, better knock some dang dirt off or
Cause
something.
this right here, this, I don't know, man. Well, this was 4 years ago, so I hope it's way better now.
Yeah.
Cause
They say Hong Kong too expensive to move to.
why would you want to move there? Look at it.
No, I think Hong Kong was too expensive to move to.
This
I don't
was
think.
Hong
Oh,
Kong.
this was Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yo, hey,
it's
let us know in the
crazy.
comment section, man. What is like, what we doing differently and how we holding up?
Yeah, I hope that they came up with a better solution because the little refrigerator ain't gonna cut it. So
he got that same mentality. Just do a more fancy refrigerator.
Right. I couldn't.
No windows either this time. He said, I ain't gonna put the windows. We're gonna just keep everything closed up. I hope they got AC in there.
Better hope nobody tilt it over.
I know, right? It look like it's gonna go rolling.
Child, I never thought I would see something like this.
Me either. Nah.
All right, y'all. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you'd like to support the channel that way, as well as our join feature to become a VIP member of the channel.
Check it out.
Send in your reaction requests to our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.